High above the bustling town, nestled amongst ancient trees, stood a forgotten clock tower. Its grand face was cracked, and its gears were silent. But secrets pulsed within its stone walls. The townspeople whispered tales of its magic, tales that curious Mehek loved to hear. Mehek, an adventurous girl, often explored the woods nearby. She dreamt of discovering the tower's mysteries. She packed a small bag, determined to venture closer than anyone before, guided by her grandmother's compass and an unshakable sense of wonder. As she neared the tower, she noticed a faint melodic hum, like tiny bells tinkling in the wind. This wasn't the silence she expected. Her heart thumped with excitement. Perhaps the tales were true after all. Pushing open a heavy, creaking wooden door, the air was cool and smelled of old wood and something subtly sweet, like blossoms. To her astonishment, the tower was alive. Tiny lights, no bigger than fireflies, zipped past her, leaving trails of glitter fairies. Real tiny fairies were flitting through the enormous gears and intricate mechanisms. One fairy, particularly swift, zoomed right up to her nose. She had shimmering wings, and a tiny golden wrench clipped to her waist. "Welcome, traveler!" she chirped, her voice like a tiny bell. "I am Sparkling." Sparkling explained that the fairies used the clock tower to pause time for one magical hour each year. This allowed them to nurture the forest and bring joy unseen by human eyes. It was a secret, ancient tradition. But a problem had arisen. The magical clock, the heart of their operation, was broken. Its most important gear, the timeless cog, was jammed, threatening to freeze time forever if not fixed by sundown. Elder Thornwick, a wise old fairy with a long white beard and broad iridescent wings, approached Mehek. "We need help, little one," he hummed. "Our tools are too small, and our strength is not enough for this task." Mehek, though surprised, felt a surge of bravery. "I can try," she declared. She was a curious problem solver, and this was the biggest puzzle she had ever encountered. The fate of time itself depended on her. Sparkling immediately led Mehek to the giant, stuck gear. It was immense, taller than Mehek herself, and glowed with a faint pulsing light. A tiny, intricate crystal was wedged deep within its teeth, causing the jam. Mehek tried to pull the crystal free, but it was firmly lodged. She tugged and strained, but her fingers were too big, and the crystal too slippery. Frustration started to bubble, but she remembered her determination. Elder Thornwick suggested, "Perhaps a different approach, Mehek. Force is not always the answer. Sometimes, gentleness and precision are required for delicate tasks." Sparkling with her tiny wrench offered to help. "We fairies can wiggle into the tight spots. If you can just loosen it, we can pull it out," she chirped, full of renewed hope. Mehek carefully selected a long, thin feather from her backpack. With gentle hands, she began to poke and prod around the crystal, trying to dislodge it. Her movements were slow and precise, guided by Sparkling's directions. The fairies cheered her on, flying in dizzying patterns around her head, their tiny lights illuminating the difficult angles. They truly were a team, Mehek providing the reach and the fairies providing the precise guidance. With a tiny pop, the crystal finally loosened. Sparkling, with a triumphant squeal, quickly zoomed in with two other fairies. Together, they latched onto the crystal and pulled with all their might. With a final concerted tug, the crystal came free. It tumbled out, sparkling, into Mehek's outstretched hand. The massive gear vibrated, then slowly, majestically, began to turn. A low hum filled the tower as all the gears, big and small, whirred back to life. The faint tinkling melody returned. Stronger now, a beautiful symphony of time resuming its journey. Elder Thornwick smiled, his ancient eyes twinkling. You saved us, Mehek. You showed us that sometimes the biggest problems need the smallest, most careful touch, and a heart willing to help. Sparkling buzzed around Mehek, showering her with iridescent glitter. You're the best. Now we can stop time again and make the world a little brighter for another year, she exclaimed happily. Mehek realized that working together, a big girl and tiny fairies, had accomplished something truly impossible. The kingdom unknowingly had been saved by their teamwork.